A major breaking story in Paris tonight. Reports of explosions and shootings. It's a shocking and confusing picture. Police say there could be at least 18 dead. It's believed the gunmen are still on the loose and grenades might have been used. Good evening. On a busy Friday night in the centre of Paris, what looks like a series of synchronised attacks are underway.
This death toll is just mounting as the details are coming in, and it feels like the city is under attack, under coordinated attack.
The restaurant was full of people. Then all of a sudden we heard loud gunshots and everybody hit the floor.
BFM TV, which we're watching as I speak to you, have been talking about a murderous barrage across the capital city tonight. And that is obviously what the people are reacting to.
This is an ITV News special.
Good evening from Paris, the capital city of a country that is tonight mourning the victims of the worst terrorist attack in Europe for 10 years. It was as carefully coordinated as it was murderous.
These pictures have just emerged of the moment the police turned up outside the Bataclan nightclub. Through the grainy images of a mobile phone camera at the rear door of the Bataclan, we can get some small idea of the terror inside.
On the streets around Bataclan, the evidence of lives lost or forever changed here. The barely worn discarded boots, the soles so clean, their first outing may have been their last.
We tried during 3 hours not to make any noise, which was the first hour very difficult because we could hear the sound of the machine guns like we were very close, like the walls were shaking.
I saw the gunmen and there were several of them and people started shouting, "Get down," you know, so like drop to your knees. They were shooting, they were aiming towards the crowd. People were running and screaming and saying, "I'm wounded, I'm going to die."
For ITV to reschedule its Saturday night lineup to cater for a Paris special was a huge responsibility. Our challenge was to ensure there was clear storytelling throughout with the best pictures of the day. Throughout that programme, throughout that day, we wanted to ensure we produced the best show possible, and I believe we did that.
The enormity, the dreadfulness of it struck us really early on. We recognised that this was a major, dreadful story that deserved our full attention, our full teams working at our maximum. Very quickly, we had 6 teams on the ground covering every single angle, covering every single development. You know, just when you thought, fine, we've reached the end of this story, there'd be another twist and a turn, another raid.
In Brussels today, the first arrests in a police operation that spans several countries. At least 3 members of the cell which carried out this atrocity in Paris are thought to have lived in Belgium before the attacks.
And Martin is here with me now. Well, our political correspondent Libby Wiener is in Downing Street tonight. Let's cross to our Washington correspondent now, Robert Moore. Let's just return finally now to our Europe editor, James Mates. And James, what's your perspective on these terrible attacks 24 hours on?
Well, principally that they're so serious that things are likely to change, likely to have to change if governments are going to keep their people safe.
Good evening from Paris, a city that is still very much living on its nerves tonight. We now know that one of the gunmen behind Friday night's massacre is still on the run.
With a strong possibility that Salah Abdeslam may have returned here to Brussels with other members of the gang, this district of Molenbeek is now the centre of an international manhunt.
Good morning, Britain. Welcome to a special edition of the programme live from Paris, a city still in shock, in mourning and very much still on the edge. As we go on air this morning, there are dawn raids underway across France. There have been a number of arrests and weapons seized.
Massive explosion has just gone off just to this side here. We're hearing that from maybe 200 to 300 metres away here in the city centre. We're going to move with it. We won't be able to get any closer and wouldn't really want to get any closer to that area. But let's just listen to see what's happening here.
In a moment, our correspondents will have the latest on the fast-moving investigation in Belgium and France. First, our Europe editor James Mates reports on a day of raids and remembrance.
The fading of the bells of Notre Dame signalled the start of the minute's silence.
Among those remembered, 35-year-old Nick Alexander from Colchester.
We're all completely torn by what's happened, but my overriding feeling whenever I see the messages to him, the tributes from all around the world, is just, it's a huge sense of pride.
ITV News tonight obtained pictures from inside the Paris apartment where 3 suspected terrorists died during a police raid on Wednesday. From the outside, the impact of the suicide bomb detonated by one of the suspects is clearly visible. On the inside, bullet holes litter the walls, evidence of the sustained gun battle.
There was one message of defiance that really said it all today. Antoine Leris, a journalist for the radio station France Bleu, lost his wife in the Bataclan club. Today he posted a message on Facebook. This is what he said.
You have stolen the life of an exceptional being, the love of my life, the mother of my son, but you will not have my hatred. I do not know who you are, and I don't want to know. If the God for whom you kill so blindly made us in his image, each bullet in my wife's body would have been a wound in his heart.